That's the hard truth that nobody ever wants to admit.
Yeah.
It was great pay, but it wasn't fulfilling. Like, I'm going to pay for this. I'm going to get my money back, and I'm going to get more than I paid for. I went to the military, and I actually went to jail.
200K, and you're ready to move forward at that today.
A lot of people, in my opinion, should not be wholesaling.
And this goes back to just being a quality fucking person. Doing quality business, guys. Just be a good person.
Exactly.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of The Deal Room. My name is Mat Walton, here with my co-host Eva. Eva, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. You feeling better?
Yeah.
Right.
Love me.
A little sickness in there. Doggy's good. Eva's good. We're good to go. Awesome. We have a guest today, guys. Phillip Ty. Phillip, how you doing?
Doing good, man. How are you guys doing so
really
far?
good. Really good. So if you don't follow Phillip on social media, we'll give you a social media handles. You should. What I love that Phillip does every single day, consistently, is he puts out a post of his day of what he's doing with like a kind of like a sped up video, like a time lapse video going on, and it's awesome to see all the things he has going on. Phillip is you do some wholesaling here and there, you do flipping, you do buy and hold, you do a bunch of different strategies. I think from everything I've seen you do. You're also a sub 2 member as well, and you do just so many different things in the industry. So tell me a little bit about what you got going on.
Well, besides all of that, I also acquired businesses. Acquired 2 businesses so far. They're both landscaping companies based out of Beaufort, Georgia, which is like northeast of Atlanta. So I have that going on. And then I also have a team of partners that operate them as well. We recently got a contract locked up for 48 units in Baltimore, Maryland. Nice. It's an commercial property. So we're looking for potential capital partners, equity partners as well for that one. We have about over probably 60% already raised already in the matter of, a couple of hours. So there is still room for people to come in. So we're offering 50% equity as a pool for the investors and 12% preferred return. Looking to do a cash out refinance within 3 to 5 years, and then having the investors stay in the deal at 20% equity. Wow. For perpetuity until we exit. So it's like a big thank you to believing in the project and us as investors. And me and Tim are doing that. Tim, you. So we have everything already lined up. We have seller finance already structured and at 4% interest. So debt's low. It cash flows really, really well. It's about a 14% cash on cash return. So I'm looking forward to doing that one. Yeah.
How did you get started in all this? You're down. I'm sure this is the first time you bought like a big multifamily deal like this, right?
Yes, it's probably one of the first ones, and it's actually
going back before you got into commercial, because I feel like, and I could be wrong, I'm sure there's people that jump into commercial right away, but there's usually stepping stones that you kind of take that go to get through this. So how did you start in the beginning to get there?
So my path is relatively probably not traditional, I would say, coming from a software engineering background. And then I found myself not wanting to do, the work that I was doing. Yeah. It was great pay, but it wasn't fulfilling. Yep. I wanted more, time freedom in a sense, which is kind of funny because entrepreneurship is definitely not the case. So no one ever told me, so I didn't know. Right. And then I invested into a mentorship, which is Fortune Builders at the time. Mm-hmm. And that's not a cheap tuition, you can say. It's about $38,000 we're not paying for. And that taught me a lot about what real estate investing really was, and taught me everything that I basically needed to know about the business outside of the fact of creative finance. So I did 5 fix and flips. That are basically probably 3 out of the 5 were full guts. Having no construction background, by the way, guys. So I learned everything that I knew from the curriculum. And from there, I kind of managed to go from fixing and flipping to wholesaling, and then acquiring rentals. And then along the way, acquiring a commercial property, and then acquiring another commercial property. And now this particular opportunity showed up at another mentorship program. So to sum it up, I've paid my way into rooms to where I can get access to network people and also deals.
Yeah.
And all of it's not cheap, but if you have the dog in you and you're able to see it to where like I'm gonna pay for this, I'm gonna get my money back, and I'm gonna get more than I paid for, then it's completely worth it in my opinion.
Yeah.
So
There's so much crap about that
yeah,
out there. Because I mean, if you look at the free groups that like Pace Morby has, for example,
yeah,
I mean, it's just people just complaining constantly and tearing things down. And oh, if they're so successful about it, why would they teach other people to do their secrets and stuff? And you hear
yeah,
about that all the time. And there are people out there who pretend to be gurus, who are bad
yeah,
people, who are going to screw you over and take your money.
mhm,
But there are also really good people that can shorten your learning curve from
yeah,
years of crap to down to nothing. I mean, and so me and Eva were both part of Astro Flipping. I'm part of Sub
nice.
2 as well. And so as the group that you're in. Yeah. So I think what you said is really important is that like, yeah, you can pay for these mentorships
Mhm.
and you can lose a lot of money on these mentorships.
You
But a
sure can.
lot of the times it could be because you didn't do what you needed to do.
Yeah. Did you actually do the things that you needed to do, or did you
Right.
kind of like fuck around and
Yeah,
Yeah.
some other things, and then you were like, I did it, and you were like, did you actually do it?
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you fucked around and found out it. But the thing is,
Yeah. They found out the things they didn't want to find out.
yeah. And the funny thing is, I feel like a lot of people have this mentality where they buy like a very expensive mentorship expecting a magical result that someone else will do the work for them. But at the end of the
Yeah.
day, you got to do the work.
Yes.
If you follow Alex Hormozy, which I'm sure all of you guys do, like
Yep.
the amount of effort and work that he puts out is freaking mind blowing. I'm
Right.
like so blown away. I'm like, oh, I don't even work hard enough. I'm such a lazy
Yeah.
bitch.
That guy works. Him and Pace, the two
Yeah.
of them, I'm
Yeah.
always like mind
Yeah.
blown. I'm like the amount of work you guys do. Like if I have to actually do that much work,
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to survive because I am not a high energy person.
It's mind melting, actually, honestly, how much work we
Yeah.
put out. So, I mean, to give your audience more context to my background, I did not grow up with a silver spoon in my mouth. I actually am the first son of immigrants. My mom and my dad came here from the Vietnam War having absolutely nothing. Started from zero. I grew up in a group home, basically in Richmond, down the road from where I'm at, and off of Parham Road. Furthermore, so like I did not start out in real estate with a whole bunch of money. Like
Right.
I saved my money to be able to put a down payment on a course and put the rest on a credit card. Like
Right.
that's my background. So if you guys think that it's easy for me, it has not been easy
Right.
at all.
Yeah. And you didn't let that hold you back. I mean, you said, "All right, I'm paying for this, but I'm gonna make it work. I'm
Yeah.
gonna put the work in so that way I can get the money back." A lot of people will spend that money and then they'll like you said, to sit around and be like, "All right, now how are you gonna make me a bunch of money?"
Yeah.
Like, no, it doesn't work that way. Like that what the goal for the mentorship group is, I think, is that you're learning from someone who's gone through all the crap already.
Yep.
So instead of you having to go through all the crap yourself to learn what they've already know, they shorten that up. You
Yeah.
just have to follow the steps.
Yeah.
Yeah, like with Jamil's course, when I talked to Eva, I didn't finish the full course.
Yeah.
I did it to the point where I was like, all right, I know what to do. Now I need to do it. Like it was
Yep.
it was that simple. And then I obviously go back and learn things as you go and join in his calls and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But for us, it was like, all right, I'm not going to, when I first started, it was, I joined a like $2,500 mentorship. It was not a good one, but it told me
Yeah.
the basics of it. And I was like, okay, now I need to turn this to a business. Who can teach me how to do that?
Yeah.
And I got Jamil's ads and I was like, all right, that's the first step. I'm gonna learn how to do this. And I just followed what he did.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
It's so simple.
I'm always thinking about that when because I run courses and things like that too, and I
Yeah.
think about it like how we present our success online, I think causes certain mindsets to happen because these courses are no different than you going to college.
Yeah.
If
there
you
isn't.
go to college, you've got to learn, you got to read the book, you got to do the actions, and then you get a degree, and then maybe you get a fucking job. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe you don't.
Yeah.
But a doctor, he went to school for 10 years, but he's not screaming on social media, I make $300,000 a year, and you got to go
Right.
to school for 10 years, and blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. Us entrepreneurs are. And we're saying, you don't have to go to school, and I make $300,000 a year.
Yeah.
And so for some reason, to people, it makes them think that it's going to be easier than if you go to college. It's not necessarily easier. It's just a different path.
Yeah, it's a different lifestyle too, as well, and
Mhm.
maybe we can do a better job of portraying how much life sucks when you're an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
We do get to work for ourselves and do whatever we want, guys, but we also don't.
Yeah. We also do things all day long, every day, and the
We
weekends
don't
too,
want to.
on top of those also.
Yeah.
Yeah. But one things you do post too, Philip, that I like is you do post about things that you took losses on.
Oh yeah.
Because I think a lot of people don't talk about that, and especially flipping and things like that. I mean, there's a big risk within those. And now
Uh-huh.
you just had a recent post. I just watched it this morning,
Yeah.
where you talked about you bought into this deal. It was a co-living or not? It was a group living, a
It's
group
like yeah,
home.
it's cool. It's group home. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it just ended up not working out. What was that story on that one?
So I guess I'll give you your long story short kind of situation. I made connections with the community bank and I got a line of credit, right? And I basically bought this group home out of Newport News and downtown Newport News. If you guys know that, it's basically in a rougher neighborhood.
Bad area.
Yeah, cash flow was great on paper, right? Struck a deal with the seller. He was of the background of managing these types of homes, and he would stay on for the next like year and some change, or however long he wanted to be able to basically manage the people and then also pay me rent. So I would basically be hands off, and that was like a really good deal at the time. And I had nothing in the deal out of my pocket, so it's basically zero. So I'm like, yeah, why not? And then he ended up taking or finding a deal that was a commercial property. He ended up going that route because it was way easier managing businesses than people,
Yeah.
right? So now I'm like, okay, cool, that's fine. No worries. I'll take over from here. Had 2 vacancies that need to be filled. And I realized like in these types of neighborhoods, there's a ton of demand for affordability hence the lower income area. And everybody's looking to get a room and get a roof over their head. So then basically, since he had so much connections, people were reaching out to him as far as the community that needed rooms, and then he would pass them along to myself. And then I would basically vet them and I would provide a bed and a roof over their head. I'll pay for the utilities and cleaning and pest control more than anything, right? And then obviously the maintenance. So it became such a hassle with the incessant fighting between the different uh, avatars that are in the property, and cops are being called. There was like bed bugs, there was rodents, people are not cleanly. Like it just became a whole thing. They're like overusing the utilities.
Mm.
I've had like literally 500 plus electricity $500 bills monthly on just electricity.
Yeah.
So I'm like, dude, what the fuck? This is
Yeah.
crazy, right? So I had enough with it. I'm like, this is just too much of a headache. So I just kicked everybody out. I'm like, all you guys are on a month-to-month lease. I'm giving you guys 30-day notice. You guys are just out of here. At the same time, after everybody left, people would still go in and out of the house. It's just insane. Like someone made a copy of the key and like basically let people in and out of the house. I'm like, all right, cool. And then windows be broken. I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
let me just get a contractor to board up the whole freaking house.
Yeah.
And so I did that, and now I'm in the process of renovating it because, well, I don't want it anymore, and it's just
Right.
sitting there. So all in all, it's probably gonna be 100 and some change in renovation. It's a pretty big house, so we're converting it from a 5-bedroom, 2-bath to a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, and gonna liquidate that guy into something else. So I'm literally trying to convert all of my single family homes right now into commercial, because what I understand, what I realized over the last couple of years of doing real estate business is that when you are dealing with residentials, you're dealing with emotions.
Yeah.
You're just dealing with emotions. And I like to just do a clear cut, black and white. Here's the agreement that you sign. You agreed it. You're an adult. And then we're just going to conduct business like business owners.
If only.
And that's why I'm going to commercial, because it's all just business. And I like just business. I don't like dealing with people's emotions.
Yeah. No, I get that. And it's also, I think, we glamorize, people out there glamorize the flips, and I made so much money off this flip, and I did this, or I bought these properties and now I'm cash flowing all this stuff. It's like, it's not all, rainbows and unicorns in there.
It's not.
No. So when you're talking about changing your single family to commercial, are you selling your single family, or are you changing the house and the way that it's like, how are you changing it to go to commercial?
Yeah, I'm selling. I'm selling.
Okay.
I'm selling everything.
I was like, are you changing the actual house and doing something different? I was like, what is this?
I'm not rezoning crap. I'm just selling.
Just get out of it.
Yeah, I'm not doing it.
You say that because a lot of people, I hear this a lot, and I think about it a lot, because you hear about when people they ask, a lot of people who are very successful, they say, what would you do differently if you started back over today? And a lot of people say, I would have gone bigger at the beginning.
Sure.
Okay, like in real estate, they would have gone right into big multifamily deals and done that. They're like, it's easier to make 100 million, whatever. Easier to make 100 million than your first million, whatever, like that. And so they talk about it all the time. I mean, are you on kind of the same mindset right now too? Like if you would have gone back,
No,
you've done it again?
no.
Okay.
You have to understand the business on a smaller scale so that you can scale up.
Okay.
If you go into a big multifamily deal and you have no experience, how the hell are you going to understand what needs to be fixed? Who do you need to talk to and all the things that you need to do? Yeah, you can do a mentorship and all that stuff, but
Yeah.
still, like, you need to get like your hands dirty. And in my opinion, unless you're just like a really smart cookie and you're like, I got this, and you have a great team around you, which is usually not the case in my opinion. Like
Right.
if I had to start from day one from where I was at, like I would be so like scared to go into such a big deal like this because
Yeah.
like the amount of liability that you have as
Right.
a person with like a regular 9 to 5 job is like crazy. You got to be able to, and also it's like the level of mindset that you have to have and have to build over this course of period of time of investing and doing business, it takes time. You just can't jump from like, oh, I'm just poor today in scarcity. I'm gonna be like, oh, abundance from next day. I'm like,
Yeah.
everything's gonna come my way. Like you don't have the fortitude, the experience, the getting kicked in the nuts day in and day out to be handling this in
Mhm.
order for you to get the big boy stuff. Like it's just a different world. Yeah.
Right. I think Alex Ramosi said this one of the quotes he has is like the way to build self-confidence is to build yourself a stack of undeniable evidence that
Yeah.
you're great. In
Yeah.
order to do that, you have to go through a bunch of crap. I think that's
Yeah.
great because yeah, you can't do like a wholesale deal and then be like, all right,
Yeah.
let's go $100 million in this commercial property.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, good on you if you can do it, right? Like that's like you're like the 1% of the 1%, which is, props, hats to you for sure.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
So you do a lot of jujitsu and things like that too.
Yeah.
I think you do a lot of self-discipline stuff, which is really good. How does that translate into your real estate business? I want to know about that, and I also
Yeah.
want to know about your plans to scale, how you're scaling your team, things like that.
Yeah, so for jujitsu, I absolutely love jujitsu. I've been a martial artist for many, many years now, over a decade or so. And, like I found that whenever how it relates to real estate, in my opinion, is like if you find yourself in a lonely island, which entrepreneurship is kind of like that sometimes, it's good to obviously reconnect with other entrepreneurs, but also people that outside of entrepreneurship. So when I started real estate investing, I was kind of in this funk, depressive state. And what I ended up finding was a group of just humans that do martial arts, jujitsu in this particular case, that's trying to literally murder you, choke you out, break your limbs, and all that stuff is very refreshing. It keeps you very very present in the moment of
Sure.
like, I'm
Yeah.
not thinking about my bullshit that I
Yeah.
got to go back to, right?
That makes sense. I'm trying to
Um,
survive. Yeah.
I'm trying to survive this one moment. And so it makes you think about just that moment and it tires the mind and the body out because jujitsu is a multifaceted practice. Not only are you trying to do Tetris with someone else's body while trying to also have your way of like position and strangles and breaking
Yeah.
mechanics of the human body, but also it mentally stimulates you by trying to solve a problem at the same time.
Mhm.
So that really helped with a lot of times when I had a lot of stress when you start a business and like you feel like you're obviously doing everything but nothing's working, and then you just need to take a mental break, and then you have all this pent up energy by sitting behind a desk all day and you need to just like work things out, right? So I found a lot of my, you can say, stress relief through the practice of jujitsu, and I was able to build community within that space and also help me realize some things that I have issues on with my business. Taking a step back from the business for like a quick, minute or so, and then you come back to this, you have like fresh eyes, can really help you move forward to the next thing that you need to do. So in that regards, that's how jujitsu has helped me stay sane over the last like almost a decade now of just doing real estate investing and just being an entrepreneur. And your second question was, what am I doing now to scale my business? Right.
Mhm.
So it's hard to scale by just yourself. I feel like a lot of businesses need partners because there's just so much demand of your attention and there's so many things to do. And there's only so little time that you have to do it in. And finding good partners that vibe and that matches your work ethic, your background, your culture, how you just do shit is, I think, a hack in life. Like me and Tim, that partnership cost me $30,000, both of us $30,000, because we went to a mastermind that we both attended, and that mastermind cost 30 grand a year. And people might say something about that or whatever they feel about that. The price is too high or whatever. Cool. That's just your mindset. But you're paying into a filtered room where people want to succeed and want to think bigger and do bigger things. And you just have to filter the room down to what you feel like might be a good partner based on your experience and based on their experience in life. And what Tim and I have done is we've created a community of an investment community where we teach people how to fix and flip, wholesale, and then do rentals. Eventually, we're going to be growing that more and more. As far as right now, we have about 23 students. So everybody's paying a different price because we had a launch and then we're just kind of scaling it that way. And in the very beginning, it was just me, him, and another partner. We've mapped out our, I guess you can say, our success through accountability, weekly accountability calls, EOS L10s, Entrepreneur Operating Systems, L10 meetings. We've implemented a roles and responsibility matrix. And what that really is basically we list out all the roles that is required in the business and then the responsibilities under those roles and get an idea of how much do you think this is worth in equity between the three of us? And then we take an average of that. And then that is the standing equity for that role. Then we do a quarterly check-in. So we reassess of the last 90 days and see where things are at. Do we actually fulfill our roles and responsibilities? If so, then we have the same equity pool, right? If one person has a life event or if things change or if they, life happens, then we adjust the equity based on what they put out. So that way it keeps everybody accountable and it's not like he said, she said, I felt like you did this, I felt like you did that, whatever it may be. That way it just keeps everything in line and fair.
I'm curious about that before you move on that because it's sort of like a floating equity amount depending on obviously what's done and what's not done. So let's just, you guys had the moment where like, hey, a life event happened and I feel like that's a hard conversation too at the same time because you have to make sure obviously that you guys are all in line and that you're towards the same goal, but then you also like saying like, hey, I did more than you this month, not like in that way, but in a way like I did more than you on this month, and so I think that your percentage should be down a little bit. And it's like how do you handle that conversation?
Well, it's based on the L10. So every week we have an L10, a meeting, and we basically discuss where our metrics are at. Like we've done
like
this.
KPIs, like in a way.
Yeah, KPIs. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, we haven't had that conversation yet.
Yeah.
All we had a conversation was removing our third partner, which he didn't do anything for the last 3 months. I'm like, and he felt guilty. So he didn't know how to bring it up. And so in our L10, I'm like, let's talk about your commitment.
Yeah.
And he's like, dude, I want out. I'm like, perfect.
Yeah.
We're done here. Right? There's nothing else to discuss. We're like, we already know. We just wanted you to give we want to give you the opportunity to express how you want to exit. But since that hasn't been the case, I'll just say it right now in this identify solve issue case of the meeting. So, I mean, if you do an L10, the accountability speaks for itself. If you do it every single week, hey, we have literally these tasks that we did or that we said that we're going to do at the beginning of the week. At the end of the week, did we complete it or did we not? It's pretty black and white.
Right.
Right? It's like, I don't need to tell you that you didn't do shit.
Yeah.
Right. You know you didn't do shit.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it's like accountability. So you guys, every week you have this L10 meeting where you kind of go over like the things that each person needs to accomplish in that week or however long is it? Is it like a month or is it every week?
So we have, we break it down to quarterly. So we have quarterly goals and then we have weekly tasks that we need to do. And then we have within those tasks, depending on your business, since we are in the info space, we have to run ads, we had to run posting, social media, we got to answer messages, and we had to do posts on our school community. So all these things will add up, right? Right now, our main focus is just to generate as many leads as possible and
for the community.
Yeah, for the community, and then optimize our offer and our product within the community. So our roles are completely different. Tim's role is to sell and to close. He loves that stuff. He's like a sicko for that shit, right? He just loves closing, man. I'm like, good for you, bro. My role is just to make sure that everything runs smoothly, as far as systems, operations. And then we also have teaching. We teach every week and we make our course better and better every time we learn something new. So him and I, we communicate every single day. We talk about like just the struggles of entrepreneurship. Like we just also send like bullshit memes from time to time. Like we're just having a fun time.
Yeah.
And then when we ever run into like a problem that feels like it's a friction point, we're like, dude, we should probably hire somebody right now. He's like, yeah, I'm thinking the same thing.
Okay.
So for example, like yesterday, we're just getting bombarded by messages. We need to hire a fucking EA. He's like, yeah, we need to hire an EA. I'm like, bet, let's do it. And then it's just very simple. Like, and so we've been able to scale. Like, we're at the point where we're literally, whenever we hit a friction point, we're like, we need somebody to take this place now.
Okay.
And we both agree. Like, we just have like this synchronicity of like, yeah, this is time.
Yeah, that makes sense. I like what you said too at the beginning of like when you're trying to scale this is define who.
Yep.
And not how I can do it. I mean, I talk about this book all the time. It's behind me called Who Not How,
Yep. Love that
in
book.
general. Have you read that one?
Yep.
Okay. Who Not How. It's basically, it's, I mean, it's really, the concept is in the title, is instead of going, how can I do this? Who can get me there?
Yep.
And so you partner up with the right people, you find the right people that can shorten or whatever. Because me and my business partner, Matt, on the other end, we're running to marketing. We're doing a bunch of marketing. We have a marketing team and stuff. And we're both not marketers. And he was like, all right, well, I'm going to dive in. I'm going to learn everything about marketing. And I was like, by the time you do that, marketing's already advanced 5 years ahead of you.
Yep.
By the time you catch back up. So like, let's find a marketer who already knows the stuff and put them in the right spot. And let's build that up from there. Because it doesn't make sense to try and learn everything. We're also developing an AI product. If I wanted to learn how to code, by the time I learn how to code and get it out there, the AI is advanced 5-10 years. And so like same thing from that. And so if I think that's really important when you're trying to learn how to scale is that who can help you get there faster than how can I learn how to do it? Are you looking at hiring any partnerships? And I know you got an insanely good CRM behind you. I don't know if you know about her CRM, but she created a CRM that basically will put out offers for you consistently and just close deals for her. You just pick up the phone and closes the deal.
That's
anything
amazing.
else?
No, not really, not yet. I feel like we're so much more advanced than everybody else in our competition, but I still feel like in the business stage we're still such a small little baby.
Yeah, I get that too as well.
and so I'm very like picky about what I say to who and who sees what, and I'm like, we're not ready yet. Soon we will be, and everyone can see, but little by little, I'm pretty picky about who gets to see what. I think probably at some point I'm gonna have to bring a partner on for sure because the idea and plans I have for the company are so far ahead of where I'm at or where I've ever been that I probably need someone else who's a little bit more advanced than me to come in and start doing some bigger play things.
Yeah,
you might want to hire maybe a coach. I'm thinking about hiring a coach that has been there, done that. That gives me more guidance. And like for the partnership, I think it's very important to have a financial discussion.
Yes.
So Tim and I share a bank account. We're literally freaking married. No joke. Which is kind of crazy because I've never been quote unquote legally married to another woman, right?
Yeah.
Here I've never shared a bank account with any other person except for this person, which is kind of interesting, right? So to discuss about financial background or financial management of the money is very interesting because we really didn't have a discussion. We just like intuitively know like we are not taking money out of this account. We're just going to reinvest everything back into the business.
Right.
And so if you have somebody that is on the same level, same mindset as that, like you should probably keep that person around because, that's like we have about 30, 40 grand sitting in the bank and we're just like, we're not touching it.
Right.
We're just not going to touch it.
Yeah, me and Matt, when we started our partnership too, we made the agreement like, hey, we're not going to touch any of this money. It's going to go all back into it until we hit it was like 20 or 30 grand in monthly recurring profit revenue that comes in. So it's profit that comes in. We wanted to make sure that we wouldn't touch anything. And we both agreed to that. And that's how it worked out for us for a long time. And so, I think that's important. And then obviously to find that people are aligned in the vision and the way they're going to be and somebody you can absolutely trust. I mean, I trust Matt that Matt is going to make the right decisions for both of us and not just himself. And he feels the same way about me. We're not greedy people in general in the way we work. And I think that's really important in partnerships. Yeah, being aligned, especially in the end goal.
I would also add the fact of, I think this probably stands out more important to me than any other attribute of a partner is that I want to understand and want to basically, I guess understand is a better word, but that this person's aware. Like they're aware of their circumstances, their surroundings, their strengths and weaknesses, their emotional state at most of the time, and they're not letting their emotional triggers overtake a situation or conversation to where it derails or self-sabotages the business and the partnership, because that's like a red flag to me. And how do you vet this person? Well, you just have conversation with them, spend more time with that he or she person, and just get an idea of how they operate on a day-to-day basis outside of, your interactions. It's just so
So
much easier that way.
you and Tim dated for a little while, and then you
Yeah,
got
yeah, we
married.
dated a little while. Yeah, we had
How
coffee, we
long
kind of
did you
kissed.
date for?
Yeah, how long was the date?
So the funny
Who
thing
proposed?
is,
Yeah.
so I mean, I feel like a lot of people now these days are like quote unquote like stalkers, right? They just look at people's social media, and they get an idea of who they are, they get a kind of feel, right?
Right.
And so I understood Tim's background. He's in the I was prior military, and so I knew he had thick skin. Like if you're in the military for at least 10 years, 5 years or whatever, you have thick skin. So
Right.
okay, cool. I'm going to test that theory. And I knew he was doing real estate too as well from afar. We're both in sub 2. And I was like, for me, I like to connect with all the Asian folks because we have I can just connect with your same culture. I'm not trying to be racist, but there's like a visible language there that doesn't need to be spoken, right? So I think the first time I met him was at Squad Up Summit 2020, the first Squad Up Summit. I think it was 2024 or whatever. And I spoke to him a little bit, and then I joined the Pace Morbius Mastermind Owners Club, and then I saw him walk the other way as I was sitting at a coffee shop, and I just called him hey, you're not doing this? And he was like, no. I'm like, don't be a bitch. And then so I basically said that to his face, and he's like, okay. And then he just walked away, and then somebody else said the same thing to him, and then he got a little upset and then just joined. And so
Not peer pressure him into joining
yeah.
yeah.
I peer pressured him to swipe $30,000 basically, right?
Basically.
Yeah, basically, right? So long story short, so we were in this group together, and then I had literally over the next 6-7 months to basically vet him, just see how he operates, how he does, just who he is as a person. And I would basically get a group of people all at these events and just get a room, an Airbnb, and I'll just basically spend as much time as I possibly can with the people that I want to hang out with and partner with, and just see how they operate before actually hey, we should start a business together.
Right. No, that makes sense. Yeah.
It's kind of like how John did it with Helena.
Yeah. Same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, John
And
Galan.
they have a really good partnership too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just got done talking to John Galan, and him and Helena. Yeah, they're crushing it out there.
Nice. That's awesome. So they kind of the same kind of cookie style kind of plan.
Yeah, they're not both Asian, but they
No.
yeah.
Last movement, he's white. All right.
Yeah,
I don't know what John is, but yeah. So they worked together for a good 6 months and were consistently doing deals together.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of clicked and made sense, and they kind of sat down together one day and were like, "Hey, I really like the way you work. You really like the way I work. What do you think?"
Yeah. Well, me and Tim are both psychopaths. We just work all the time, and we're just and we're like, dude, if I feel like Phil's working and I'm not working, I feel like a piece of shit, and vice versa. So we feed off that that energy of lack.
I don't want to get. So when you guys are building this community, I'm because I have interest in doing that. Eva already has one too.
Yeah.
My goal is to just give away as much free as possible, but I know there's a lot of drawbacks to that. Free people get things for free tend to be the most ones that are entitled and want the most and have the biggest issues and stuff like that, which you see a lot of people complain about, and they don't understand that, hey, the people that buy into it are actually serious, and the people that buy into it and spend their actual money on it are the ones that are more than likely going to actually get things done. And so I'm kind of on the mindset between both of them. I want to give away a ton of free stuff. And the reason I want to give away a ton of free stuff is because eventually, if I have something to sell, then maybe they want to, buy it from me. But also, if I can help as many people become successful as possible, maybe that'll help me in some way, shape, or form. I don't really know necessarily what that is yet, but I just want to do that. But I get the drawback side of it too. So I know you guys did the free group for a while.
We still have it.
You still have the free group, but then obviously added the paid on there. So, tell me about your experience with that.
So in the very beginning, you don't know from your head, from your ass, honestly.
Yeah.
You're kind of throwing shit at the wall. You're like, health this sticks. I'm just kind of following what people before me have done it, and I'm just kind of imitating their model. So we look at the free side as a funnel. Alex Hormozi gives a lot of free stuff. So basically, we're basically his competition at the end of the day. Like, your competition business is Alex Hormozi. You're like, well, fuck me.
Yeah. Yeah. Good luck.
So to match that, we have to have some sort of free community to be able to funnel people in so that they can see the value. By your model, like I'm with you on the model of providing as much value as possibly can, then asking, right? Once you see the results, we have about 700 plus people in our free community. We have about 26 people in our paid community.
Right.
And so it's just building a know, like, and trust factor in that free side, and just growing as much as I possibly can. And then also asking the right questions when they join, like, hey, do you need help scaling? Right? Are you looking to scale up to X amount of dollars per month? Are you looking to grow your portfolio? Whatever the question is, to trigger a sense of maybe this person's interested in maybe a higher ticket or higher education, then we go ahead and reach out to those folks and we start nurturing those folks. In the beginning, we basically took almost anybody, but now we are like filtering it down to qualifications, because we realize that we take anybody and they don't have the tenacity to want to better their own life, then nobody can help them. And it's going to be a shitty experience for not only for them, but also for you. Because now you get to like literally chase after this person to like keep them accountable, which you shouldn't do as an adult.
I don't want to be more invested in your business than you are invested in your business.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
I don't want to chase you down to work your own business. Like, I don't even get a paycheck anymore at this point. You're paying me $27. Like,
yeah, exactly. So so we are screening the living crap out of people now just for that quality. Like, listen, like, I can't guarantee you shit other than death and taxes.
Yeah.
Everything else is all on you. Yeah, I mean,
it's just dying.
Well, taxes is everywhere. It's like tax for buying shit. You gotta pay taxes on your car insurance, your property insurance, or property taxes. That's all taxes, right?
Yep.
That's true. I'm thinking the end of the year. I'm like, if you got enough, debt going on there, maybe you're just borrowing a credit card.
Move a couple of things around.
So everything else is, that's also another third guarantee. A third guarantee is like, if you do nothing right now, I can promise you be in the same position that you are right now. That's a third guarantee that we have. So we use that to funnel our free, funnel our paid, and then from there we actually nurture the crap out of our paid community. We try to provide as much value as we possibly can in that community because they're with us for a year, and our ascension is quite, I would say pretty good. It went from like $200 a month all the way up to $8,500 right now.
A year or total, or
yeah. So we had a monthly plan.
Yeah,
and now that was doing pretty well. We got a couple of members in there as like founder members, and then from there we just increased our price because we felt like our value was so much higher than the price we were offering at the end of the day. So we're like, we are worthy of this price increase. And that's like the mindset that you have to have when you know you have a good offer. Yeah. Because in the beginning, you're not really sure if you have a good offer, but if I'm offering everything under the sun of my experience that I've done, and plus sales training and marketing training, and operations and SOPs, like that in itself is worth at least 10 grand, like in my opinion, and you're with me for a year, versus you have other quote unquote real estate gurus that doesn't do anything and they're charging you 30 G's.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, like,
it also, like you said, it filters the people out too, right? You're going to get better quality people that are willing to spend more and more serious about things than you are people who only want to spend a couple of dollars here and there, right?
Yeah. And if people want to just like, are there resistance or gives us objection on the price, I'm like, you can definitely learn from YouTube University. Like, go for it, like 100%. Like, I believe in you. Like, you can do it.
Believe in you.
Yeah. you got this. Yeah.
Straight up.
It's yours. Yeah. Me and Eva have talked about that too, about people who come into the course and stuff like that, and people who talk to us, especially because when we offer VAs, we put out an ad for VAs. We ran some ads just to try and see what, get a feel of how to do it and stuff. And I cannot tell you how many times we got on a call and the first question I asked, oh, cool, how long you been wholesaling? How many deals you done? They're like, yeah, I just been watching YouTube videos. I just learned about it. I'm like, that's cool. So you've done no deals. Yeah, we've done no deals. And you want to hire a VA. Why do you want to hire a VA? We know they can make the calls for me and they can get the deals locked up and then I can close deals. I was like, you've never done this before. So I was like, how are you going to fund it consistently? Because it's going to take a little bit of funds to get this thing going. And how are you going to tell that person or that VA what to do in a situation you've never been in.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, that's a good question." Like, yeah, it is. So we tell people all the time, like, who come into assets, I'm like, I'm not selling you a VA. I'm not giving you one. Go and learn and do some deals and then come back. And
Yeah.
then when you're ready for a VA, we will. And I think that's important too, is when you're doing this, I'm sure one of the qualifications is have you done a deal or maybe gotten close to doing a deal or at least working really hard towards it. Is that probably what you
Yeah.
guys do? Filter out by?
Well, we filter on we normally like to talk to people that have at least a couple of deals under their belts, just for the simple fact that we're not starting from scratch, because starting from
Yes.
scratch is like brutal. It's
That's a
so
whole nother
brutal.
game. That's a whole nother game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're babysitting.
Yeah.
It's
Exactly.
it's brain damage sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, you start people from scratch, right? All the way up.
I start from scratch, yeah. So we go from
Oh,
scratch, and we go from $27 entry point to a $25,000 entry point, or not entry point, but point.
yeah, high ticket.
So they go
Yeah.
from learning all the very basics of working with agents and AI and all that
Uh-huh.
to they can get into like a 6-step magic is what I call it program, where we teach you how to not only, so the first one we teach you how to actually just do the thing,
Yeah.
like the hustle strategy, basically. The second
Sure.
step is we teach you how to actually scale and build, where you're building an actual foundation and you can build on top of that. The higher programs are either we're doing it with you or doing it for you.
Done for you model. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Tough.
Yeah.
Tough you models are tough.
Yeah. They're
Done with you, done for you, we require you to have some kind of something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because anytime you bring someone on, who hasn't done anything, they don't have enough knowledge, they don't have enough experience, they haven't gotten their hands dirty, they usually don't have any success because they
Yep.
think that they can just wait for you to do it for them and be hands off and be in God knows where doing God knows what, and that
Yeah.
it's gonna succeed. And I'm like, your team doesn't even, like, they work for me, but they don't work for me. Like, I'm gonna leave you. Who's gonna lead them?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's a nightmare. So I've been doing this for 4 or 5 years now, so
Uh-huh.
we've kind of gotten that nailed down to who instantly within, like, 3 questions, who's gonna
Yeah.
work, who's not gonna work.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just know. You're like, oh, this
Yeah.
person's not going to work out. Like, you're not a good fit.
You're
Please.
not a good please don't.
Please leave me.
Yeah.
You know what? We
Yeah.
got a $27 offer.
Yeah.
We're gonna downsell you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
That's
Philip,
unreal.
you brought up hiring a coach, which I think is cool because about having us, to help you learn to get to the next level. You hire a coach for that.
Always.
There is
Yeah.
which I think is awesome. There's a lot of coaches out there. There's a lot of
Oh, yeah.
consultants. There's a lot of gurus. There's a lot of people who are selling something, right? How would you say that you vet somebody? Like you paid you said you paid $30-some thousand for the first one, the Fortune
Yeah,
Builder,
yeah.
right? Then you obviously saw Pace everywhere, so you joined Pace.
Yeah.
Pace is pretty easy to understand on that one.
Right.
But as you're going to jump to this next level, I mean, how do you vet somebody? How does somebody who's looking to jump into something by hiring a coach or a mentor, how would you say the steps they should go through to find out if this is the right person they should go with?
I mean, look at their track record, in my opinion, right? That's what I would look for first and foremost, because I think most coaches will have that. And then I would look in more of like the personal, like awareness aspect, like spiritual aspect. I'm more of a spiritual person. So I actually want to understand if this person's like really conscious and aware of my situation and the situation that they can put themselves into my shoes and see what they would do. And just give me solid advice. Like, I mean, this person probably is going to be a more well-rounded, older individual that has basically got everything he wants or her wants in life, in my opinion. It's just like finding another partner, but a wiser partner in a sense, right? Like I know what I'm looking for as far as a partner now, and you just magnify that to a more wiser individual as a coach. Like just tell me what to do and I'll fucking do it. Like just tell me. I don't need don't explain it. Just tell me.
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm sure that worries a lot of people because I talked to one guy who was looking for a VA because he had paid $20-some thousand into this mentorship program or this coaching program for wholesaling, has done a deal. Then the coaching program that he paid $20,000 into told him to go hire a VA. That's going to cost him $1,500 a month on top of all that. And then they kept telling him like you need to buy these leads and this, and they take like he was like I don't know like 30-some grand in by the time I talked to him, and I said I told him straight up like I'm not selling you a VA. Stop. Like I don't know what this person's telling you over here. Like stop buying more stuff. Like I just literally you need to just get on your phone and just start calling people. And I gave him the 3 strategies. So you can do direct to seller, you can talk to other wholesalers, or you can call agents. and you need to do one of those strategies, and you're going to do it a lot until you finally get some deals under contract. I'll answer questions for you for free. I mean, just
Right.
text me if you have them. But like I think a lot of people get worried about that because you see the gurus online who are driving who are sitting
Yeah.
next to the Lamborghinis that aren't theirs, and they're in the penthouses that they just walked into for a showing and things like that. And there's so many people out there that they're selling, like Eva said, like, the dream of I'm doing so great and here's all my
Snake
money and
oil.
it's
Yeah.
so easy, right? So yeah, the snake oil, exactly. So it's I think that probably scares a lot of people about it, and a lot of why people in the free groups, they had that mentality of, yeah, if this person was so successful, they wouldn't sell
Yeah.
me anything. They would gatekeep it and never tell anybody their strategy. And
I think even that is like there's a certain level of people who come into the free groups who are more positive thinking, and then there's those people who don't ever join the free groups.
right,
And
yeah,
if they do join the free groups, they usually just troll, do
yeah,
they do something that's gonna get them kicked out,
yeah,
basically. Like, those guys, they're on a whole 'nother level of just like, "I hate my life," and everyone's gonna know it, and I'm gonna make them wanna hate their life too. So, like, those ones, I don't know, those guys. But you had said something earlier that you want a mentor who's going to just tell you, not explain it to you, which I thought was a golden little nugget there, because to Matt's point, there are these people who are like, "Oh, everyone's so easy, blah, blah." But a lot of those people are the people where you could tell them what to do and they won't take the initiative to go find it out. Whereas
Yeah.
you're paying a mentor at a higher level and you're like, "Just tell me what to do." And they're like, "You need to go research XYZ."
Yeah.
You're like, 5 hours in, you're researching all about this. You come back to them with the information you found. You guys chop it out. Then you
Yeah.
go, tells you, "Okay, now you need to figure this out." He didn't give you videos. He didn't sit there and explain it to you for 3 hours.
Mhm.
And the people with the lower mindset are thinking, you need to spend 76 hours with me to
Yeah.
explain this. And even if you told me what to do, that wasn't good enough. Now I don't know what to do. They don't have any initiative to take the next action. That's the difference between the people who are having success and the ones that are not.
Yeah. And a good example of this is that this is kind of actually combines mentorship and like partnership, like trust. So Tim and I started this thing and he's like, "Yo, dude, I found this guy named Brandon Forbes. He's a coach for Coach." I'm like, "Cool." And then he had a sales call with one of Brandon's sales rep, and Tim doesn't get sold a lot, but he's like, "Dude, this is the shit. They told me everything that was wrong with our business. And they gave us like basically value on the call. Like no one ever does that." I'm like, "Okay, cool. How much would it cost?" He's like, 10 grand. I'm like, "All right, whatever.
yeah,
Just I trust you. Just pay for the thing."
yeah,
And so on the call, on our like onboarding call, right? He basically maps out our like step or our plan A to plan B situation. Like you need to do this, 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 and this, right? We're like, "Okay, cool. You need to watch this video, and this video in the course." We're like, "Okay, cool." So all we did was just watch that and we just implemented. Like, I don't need anything else from you. Just tell me what to do and I'll go fucking do it. Like,
yeah,
that's all I need. And then the results will show for itself. And which did. Like, so like a week later, we got our first 5 grand paid in full. We're like, "Fuck yeah, let's keep on going. Let's keep on getting this train going." So like, that's all we need. That's all I need. Literally. I don't need to watch a whole bunch of videos that don't even add value to where I'm at right now. I just need to get where I need to get and then just do what I need to do.
yeah.
That's kind of the strategy we did when we joined Astro. Neither one of us completed the course.
Yeah.
We got what we
And
needed.
neither one of us did it in the pattern that it was set up in. We
Yeah.
were like, "We know this, let's go do this. Wait,
Yeah.
now we've got this problem. We need to watch
Yeah.
this video. Let's go do
Yep.
this. Let's
Yeah.
go to this call."
And a
It
lot
was
of
never
times,
like, "Let's watch all 50." I don't know how many videos are in Astro.
yeah,
50 videos.
yeah. And a
I
lot
don't
of times
even
me and
I,
Eva probably had the issue of like, oh, we just made that mistake. And if we would have watched that video, we probably wouldn't have made that mistake. But we
I
had to do
learned
it
better
anyway.
through failing.
Yeah.
I think
Exactly.
one of the things that are important too within Sub 2 and Astro is they're very good about keeping the culture. And
Yeah.
they are quick to snip anybody out who's going to ruin that, because there's culture killers are a real thing. And it
Yeah.
can take one person to bring down an entire organization who does that. I mean, I've had people within my team where like they were great, they closed deals, but they were quick to just drag everybody else down.
Yeah.
And like, even though the deals are great that they're closing, you got to go, because if I'm trying to get bigger and I'm trying to grow and I'm trying to have a team of people that are bought into the process and what the goal is, you'll kill that. So you probably have to do the same thing with your program, right?
Yeah, we haven't had that yet, but I'm sure it's gonna come up. But I'm creating that we won't have that, since we'll have a better screening process before that person comes.
For the paid one, but I mean the free group,
Yeah.
you kind of, is it like
The free group is kind of like,
What about within your company? Have you ever had to fire someone because they were a little bit of a culture killer?
Uh, I had to fire contractors, but other
Yeah.
than that, like that's kind of the same way where contractors stole from me and they didn't do what they said they were going to do. I'm like, all right, bet that's cool. Like I know your character now. Like I've only paid you like a couple $1,000. Not a big deal. It's it's better now than later.
I'm,
So I
I'm
mean,
interested in that real quick though, because I think that scares people. That scares me about flipping a lot. I flipped a property, but that was with somebody who I knew who was a contractor, and we're partnered on it,
oh, good,
where he has all the stake in too. I mean, I brought the property and the financing, and then
yeah,
he did all the work.
right,
And so then we split everything. That to me was comfortable. But like say I want to go and hire like contractors and actually like just run it myself.
yeah,
I think a lot of people get scared. I actually talked to my barber yesterday. He was cutting my hair and he was like, "Yeah, I want to do that. I want to go into that, but I'm so scared about like contractors I hear about them screwing people over all the time. I don't know
yeah.
how to check on them. I don't know how to make sure they're doing it right. Like what advice would you give on that? Because I think that's important. I think that's a big problem within flipping in general."
Yeah, join my school community, first and
There you go.
foremost.
Yeah.
There you go. And that's the end of that topic. Yep.
It's the setup, Matt. So if you're like starting out brand new, fresh,
Yeah.
whatever, you got to have legal protection for yourself, honestly speaking. You got to, there's so many like things that I want to say, and there's like, it's way over someone's head when they don't know what I'm saying. So
Mhm.
kind of dumb it down is like, you got to make a plan. Make a plan to what you want to repair. Like write out all the things, literally, like if you're making a PB&J sandwich from scratch,
Mhm.
right? You got to be very, very detailed in what you want, and be aware that there will be change orders, meaning when a contractor opens up walls, they will find shit that you are not expecting, and you got to have contingency money for that. Normally 20% of the budget. So if you have a $100,000 budget, just budget 20 grand for contingencies, just
Right.
for an oh shit moment. Next, you got to have like hard rules for yourself, like firm rules that you will not pay a contractor unless work is completed. And how you do that and how you basically manage contractors is through a payment schedule that is correlating to the scope of work that you have. So if the contractor is requesting payment and demo has not been done yet, don't fucking pay them. Like simple as that. And you say this up front before you even give any work to the contractors. So you're like, hey, let's say contractor, this is how I work. I do not pay for tools. I only pay for materials and only when work gets completed. And how we help you with that and how we stay both accountable is I have this scope of work and I have this payment schedule to where you get to fill out when you want to get paid and what is completed on that date. And then I get to go check that work and validate to make sure that you did do what you said you did, and then I will pay you on the spot
Okay.
when you do all your work. Does that sound fair? They're not going to say no to that because they're dictating when they get paid. Now, there are some circumstances where a contractor will like inflate a number
Yeah.
on the first payment. If they're like demo and then trash out 20 grand, I'm like, bro, you need to recheck that number, bro,
Yeah.
because I'm not paying you 20 grand just to do two things.
See, a lot of people don't know that and what's a
Yeah.
good number or not. I think that scares people.
Yeah, I mean,
They need a mentor.
yeah. That's what you need, a school community like myself, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
You
because
don't-
you've helped me with that, Philip, because I asked you about a property one time.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, the plumber's quoted me like, I don't know how much it was to replumb to this fix these issues. He was like, my plumber would replumb the entire house for half that. And so I was like, yeah, well, that's in perspective. Yeah. See, I wouldn't have known that. And so yeah, I
Well,
mean
wait a
it's really
minute.
tough, buddy. Yeah. Hold on now.
You can also do it this way too as well. If you have no idea about price and you don't want to join any communities and you're in a mindset of like, I'm gonna do it all myself, YouTube University, cool,
Yeah.
go for you. Just get 3 different quotes.
Okay.
Just get an average of 3
Yeah.
and then just press it down or just get an average of those. You can go for the cheapest guy, which is probably smoking crack and
Yeah.
smoking weed at the same time and drunk, which I've had happen before. Like I've had guys like
Yeah.
come up my job site, like all cracked out. I'm like, bro, you need to stop.
Mhm.
You need to get the hell off my job site and just go on, doing some more crack somewhere else.
Do your crack
But-
somewhere else.
Yeah, you're a huge liability right now for me. So you can never go for the cheapest. I would, in the sense of trades meaning your HVAC, your electrician, and your plumbers, always go for the licensed professional on that particular front. Because why? Because if they do a shoddy job and you don't know they're doing a shoddy job and they're not licensed, and when you try to go sell that house, the inspector will pick up on all of the imperfections and the code violations that you're going to have to fix, which is going to cost you even more money because you have to open up walls now to fix the piping and the electrical work. So just be aware of that. Now, your drywallers, your tile guys, your floor guys, they're more going to be Hispanic workers. I hate to say it, but that's kind of the nature of the beast there. They're just faster. They are just hardworking, and they just grind. Like I have like one of the best, I guess, backbone of America are Hispanic workers that just grind. They're just such a good worker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
I
I
mean,
mean,
that's one of those guys.
yeah.
Lucky for me, my dad brought me into this industry, and he's a contractor as well. So like, things happen, I call him. So like when my something happened in my bathroom, a pipe burst or something, and the guys came to fix it, but they were like from the insurance company, and so I was like looking at their work, and I was like, I don't think this is right, and they were like, no, it's right, you don't know, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna call my dad. So I called my dad on FaceTime. I'm like, this doesn't look right. He's like, take a screwdriver and poke it. I poked it. He's like, oh hell no. So I was like, thank God I have my dad. But yeah. I honestly too, my dad's also showed me tools online that you can look at stuff that gives you kind of an idea of what something might cost, labor and material wise. So if you kind of Google around, this is again taking initiative. Google around, you can find a site like that that's going to give you an idea. Plus, call the 3 different people, get some quotes. Like, there's tools to help you that you don't have. You could sit there and just be scared.
Yeah.
And then nothing happens.
Ask ChatGPT and AI. Like,
yeah.
Honestly, just use your resources that you have. If you want free, just ask free ChatGPT, and they'll provide an answer for you. You can also call a realtor. Honestly speaking, like it's
the right realtor.
Yeah,
There's a lot of resources that you could use that you don't have to sit there scared to not take the next step in progressing. The life that you want is on the other side of the fear.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And if you're scared, just stay scared. It's cool.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's not our life.
Funny. I'll tell my barber, the barber that, because he's like, hey, I just want to scale. I want to be bigger. I was like, first off, I have no idea how to scale a barbershop. You have to find out. I asked him a question about that. And he was like, yeah, he was going about a bunch of different options. He was like, I just don't know. I'm like, well, look, the truth is, I mean, you're never going to scale until you take the risk of doing it. Like, it's a risk either way you do it. So either way, you can sit where you're at right now and, keep working for the paycheck if you want to, or you can find a different way to do it. I mean, it's scary at first, but that's where the money's going to be made. And he was asking me about all those things. And so I've heard advice of, obviously, what I did was I partnered with somebody who I've worked with multiple times. He actually was the guy the first wholesale deal I ever did was with him. And so we've just kind of kept in contact and became one of our friends. We invested in a big luxury flip that he did over in this area, and he was great about it. And he, paid us very well on that property. And so then we got the property under contract, and it was a great deal. And I was like, sure, we'll take it down. And he partnered with him. And so I think that if you are looking to hire contractors, maybe get a recommendation from somebody you really trust.
Yeah.
If you don't know anybody, or someone you've worked with for a little bit till you understand it. I mean, would you probably agree with that?
Yeah, I would agree with that. But good contractors are few and far between, and not a lot of investors or people are going to give them out willy-nilly.
Right.
So in that particular case, you got to provide value to the individual in order for them to give you a shot.
Right.
Like, for example, I'm not going to pull my contractors that are on a job right now and going to make me money to help some Joe Schmo off the street saying, hey, I need help. I'm like, I do too. Like, what else is new?
Yeah. 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 I found a good person to go find yours. No, it's just, I mean, different ways like that. I don't know. And so it was funny because we were talking about it. It was the first flip we've done, and we're going to close on the third, and we're going to make some money off it, which is great. But the whole time I'm thinking, like, man, I could have wholesaled that an hour for double what I'm getting on this right now. And it's fine. Like, it was a good experience what we did. My wife wanted to have the experience on it. And from that, from a wholesaler's perspective, it's hard for me to just want to take on more risk on it when I can just get rid of it really quickly,
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. Eva's got some projects going on too.
Yeah.
Right?
What you got going on?
Oh, you got some Section 8 stuff. She got some Section 8 ones that she does.
I think maybe what you're thinking of is the plan that my next plan that I'm thinking of. So I have this.
Yeah, she's going.
I want to get into building. I don't know anything about it yet. So I'm a one-trick pony still. Okay, I've been a one-trick pony for 5 years.
You should watch my YouTube video. I have a guest named Brandon Lindsay, and he goes over in depth an hour of how to build and what he does.
Okay.
So I can send it to whoever in here, but
yeah,
Brandon Lindsay, All he does is new construction, and he basically does a rundown of from dirt to permit to like basically all the way through in a masterclass of an hour.
Wow.
Yes,
I'll check that
yes.
out too.
I need to
Yeah.
watch that because that's what I want to get into next is building. And my whole, probably what he's picking up off of is I had this idea that I want to buy this piece of land that's looking out at a lake here in Florida. I want to build my dream house on it.
Yeah.
And then get 100K out of my dream house build, put it into a multi-unit build in Mississippi. And so
Okay.
that's probably what he's thinking. But this is this whole idea that I've been playing with. That's my next level move. Because right now I own some Section 8 properties that I bought all under 100K in Mississippi. I've got my personal residence, and then I'm part of something similar to what you're doing right now.
Yeah.
With the multifamily where you buy in and you get a percentage and then you cash out after they do the 3 to 5 and all that.
Well, I'm
So,
actually going to be operating that or actually buying that.
okay, yeah. So I became like a silent partner, as you could
Yeah.
call it, in one of those.
An LP.
So that's where my next level was after wholesaling. And now what's next is probably this new build scenario I keep thinking about.
Oh yeah.
What's
Well,
next? What's next for Phillip?
Well,
Yeah.
we have this going on, but we're also doing this thing called we're doing curative title work. Curative title work is basically tax delinquent property that is in tax suit or in tax sale in the state of Texas right now. And we buy people's deeds for literally pennies on the dollar. And what I mean by that is like if a house is worth 100 grand, let's just take easy numbers, for example, and it owes 10 grand in taxes and it's going to a tax sale or a tax suit, and the owners of record are passed away and they have no probate that was done on the property, meaning in that particular case, they cannot transfer to the next of kin, to their descendants legally because the children have not gone through probate yet. So no ownership has been transferred. So they can't do anything with the property. It's stalled. And you have a messy title. So not only you have a tax lien, you might have memorandums, you might have judgments, you might have encumbrance on the property, and nobody can do shit, and nobody wants to pay for the taxes because maybe they're fighting amongst each other because there was no will, right? And now you have this messy, multiple different stages, and then you have the county suing these people. They're like, I don't want to do shit for the property. I don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
We're like, cool. So this is where we come in, and we go to individual heirs, and we offer them money for their problem. And we buy their problems for 200, 400, 2,000 bucks, right? And then we take over that property and we cure the title. We do everything that we need to do to deploy our attorneys, our team to basically cure the title, pay the taxes, and then sell it to on the MLS. We basically wholesale it. And we make, on average, $50 easily $1,000 per transaction to $100, $200,000 per rip.
What's the cycle of that? Like, how long does it usually take from start to finish?
It depends. Every situation is different because you have so many different factors that come into play, such as probate, such as family dynamics, such as there's so many crazy stories that I've already talked to different sellers. I've had one heir forged a will into probate, and then the other siblings are basically suing the heir that did that. So you have so many crazy dynamics, and there's so many different facets that you can leverage when you are going after these properties, right? So for example, like this one lead that I'm working on, there's like 5 different heirs. The property probably has about $140,000 in equity, 62 grand in taxes, and nobody wants to do anything because everybody's too poor to pay for the taxes.
Sure.
Right. So I'm going to individually to buy their interest. And now, depending on how the owner of record have died, they can go into intestate, which is basically a Texas law on how you distribute properties and personal belongings to the next generation based on how the property was conveyed to the owners of record. So for example, if a person bought a property before marriage, the deed would say John Smith sole and separate, right? If a person bought a property together marriage, it would say John Smith and Mary Smith together. And so now you have a community property, and that's divided differently compared to a separate property. So you have all these different little factors that go into play, and it can shorten the timeline. It can expand the timeline depending on when you get paid. So I say, like, I think of wholesaling as like playing checkers, and like this particular avenue is like playing chess, because there's so many different pieces on the board that you get to like implement and play with. And if you don't have like an heir that wants to play ball that's holding out, you can always JV with them. You can always sue them too as well if you wanted to. So there's like so many factors that you can implement, legally speaking, and then exit. So
Do you get them to sign like a disinterested party affidavit? Is that what you're trying to do? You pay them to sign something like that, or what do you?
we have like 7 documents. We literally will close with the heirs. We have our own mini closing with them.
Okay.
We're basically buying their deed through like 7 documents.
Okay.
And we're buying the property without or buying their equity without title insurance. So we are doing the work as if we were national underwriters to be able to sell it to the end buyer so that they can get title insurance on it.
Okay. What's the risk on your end for that?
Well, the risk is if you pay the wrong heir, you're fucked. You just lost the money that you were going to pay them, right? So that's the risk. But then we have this whole strategy goes into understanding genealogy. And so I never in a million years would I thought I would have a subscription to Ancestry.com and just start building out fucking family trees.
Yeah.
Understand the lineage of how things were divided and who's in the family, right? So it's actually pretty interesting in that particular point. And it's like wholesaling itself is like, hey, seller, I want to buy your house. It sounds like, fuck you, fuck off, whatever, right? This particular introduction is like, hey, John, this is Phillip Ty reaching out. My firm is working on an inheritance case for John Smith. I believe you're an heir of this property, of this estate. I've been trying to get a hold of you or someone in the family due to a time-sensitive and urgent matter. Yeah. You know, I just kind of pitch it like that, so it doesn't sound like the regular person like, I want to buy your house. Mm-hmm. Are you so and so, right?
It sounds like you're gonna give me something.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Like, oh, I'm gonna be listening to this call for a little bit longer.
They did that. They leave me something. Wait a minute.
So it's a different type of strategy, and I have another partner on this. And so this is like going to be its own separate school community in the future. Okay. So I'm priming your audience to look out for this.
You're priming me. You're priming me for it because my wife is very good at stuff like this. She used to be a paralegal for a real estate litigator. And so contracts and figuring out the issues on title and stuff like that, she's very good at it, and she knows it very well. Yeah. So as you're talking, I'm like, she would probably love this.
This is like you can make easily 6 figures like in 30 to 45 days per deal. If you're able to do it right. The hardest part about this is understanding the legal paperwork for what you need to get the heirs to sign. Yeah. Right? That's basically it. Everything else is kind of the same thing, but kind of spun up in a different structure and context based on what they're going through. And you know what they're going through because everything is basically like public knowledge, public records. Right. Because everything that we search is all public records. You can search the probate records. You can search the county clerk's office, the district clerk office to see what kind of situation they're in as far as the tax situation. Right. Because if you think about it, tax suit and then tax sale is like side by side, right? You're getting sued from the county, and if you don't do shit, we're going to sell your property. Yep. It's basically a foreclosure situation. Mm-hmm. But they literally are screwed because once that sells, like it's gone. Yeah, you're not. And the sheriff knocks at the door. You're like, get the hell out of this house. Right.
Yeah. That's what happened with my grandma. So my grandma has 9 kids, and she passed. She's not originally from America. She's Mexico, and she came here. And my grandpa fought in the war. He's Filipino, and he got her citizenship, and that's how they were able to buy a house and everything else. They brought all their kids here. When she passed, my grandpa was a lot older than my grandma, so he passed quite a few years before her. So then when she passed, she didn't have like any of that stuff together. No paperwork, no nothing. So when she passed, all 9 kids were fighting for the rights of the house, the money, the selling. It was a hot fucking mess. Yeah. I think my dad figured it out.
Do you know what he did?
I don't know, but I know there's a lot of people who aren't happy about it. So I don't care to find out. I don't want to be involved. I didn't get anything. That's what the point is.
Yeah. It becomes a hot mess if there's no will and if there's incest fighting. Like I love to hear that. I love to hear that. It's kind of messed up because I know it's like, it's like so strategic because like last night I was talking to an heir or like a husband of the heir, and he was giving me everything that I needed to know. I'm like, okay, I need to go to after these guys now. I'm like, okay, I need to talk to these guys ASAP. I need to pay these guys so I can get access to this property.
Right.
It's crazy because you can buy equity at such a low price.
Right.
Right. Like, for example, one of my partners, he bought a whole property, 100% ownership, for $4,500.
Oof.
It's
And
insane.
I'm saying, because you have a property that they can't sell, they can't do shit with, and they don't have the knowledge and the money to fix it. So
Yeah.
they're just like, fuck it, I'll just take whatever you can get me.
Yeah. I mean,
Do you know all the
$4,500
numbers
isn't like
on
any.
that?
What's that?
Do you know all the numbers on that?
We're gonna schedule. We're probably making about 150 on that.
Yeah. There you go.
150,000. And the thing is,
$4,500.
yeah,
Yeah.
some of the heirs that you talk to are so estranged that they have no idea how many properties that they're signing over. Because if the owners of record, it's like maybe like 3 generations above them, right? Have like maybe 3 or 4 properties, and in our documents, it will basically state all those properties, and they'd be signing away. Maybe get paid $5,000 and sell away all the properties that they ownership they have.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, like $4,500 to us is nothing. But to other people, it's like there's no way. There's no way they can even make that now.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's just him buying their interest, right? That's not what actually is owed on the taxes or.
Exactly.
Okay.
We're basically buying the problems that you don't want to solve or fix or ignore. You want to be an ostrich? Stick your head in the dirt. It's cool. Like we'll pay you for that. Let's keep that head in the dirt.
That's what real estate really is all about, for the most part, is solving problems that nobody else wants to solve.
Right.
Yeah. It is such a blue ocean because it takes a level of research, tenacity, and basically persistence to be able to do this, because it's not a quick crack hit of like $10,000 and you're good to go. It's like you got to stick it in for the long haul.
Yeah.
Right. And that's where the payday's off, because you're solving bigger problems. Doesn't require a seller needs cash in 30 days. This requires like a whole team of managing different personalities, profiling them, understanding where people are at mentally, where the property's at, like legally speaking, and then kind of maneuvering your way through the forest to get to the other side. It's way different.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, look, we're at an hour and 15 minutes in. I think that was a great spot to land to finish off on, because what you just said there was obviously the tenacity and the willingness to go where people won't go is what's going to help you be successful in entrepreneurship. Before we roll out here, anything else that you want to just get off, and anything you want to pitch, anything you want to, how can people get a hold of you? Where can they join your community? Things like that. Yeah.
My community that I have right now for people that want to start real estate investing just as a beginner or whatever. We have a school community called New Breed Investors. You can find it on school.com. You can find me also on Instagram at Phillip H. Ty, and I'll basically answer all the DMs that are sent my way.
Yeah. If you want to find out what he's doing that day, just watch his story. He's got a full story on here and tell you everything.
Yep, exactly.
Awesome. Phillip, thank you so much for your time, man. I learned a lot on this call. I'm very interested about, I probably will be talking to you very soon about what you just talked about here at the end. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. We'll link all your socials in here. Also, if you guys are looking to learn more, him and Tim have a podcast they do consistently called Due Diligence After Dark. Watch that. A lot of great nuggets that come in from that podcast too. So again, if you guys got anything, please like, share, subscribe, comment, hit the bell icon. We drop these episodes every Thursday at some point in time. We have no idea yet, but thank you guys so much.